Can you see the window?
Yes, sir.
So in the morning class, before lunch, we just saw what is a node, how to start with the node voltage analysis. Okay, what we are doing. See, this is one more analysis technique, like we use simple Ohm's law or simple KVL equations or mesh current analysis. Okay, so like that, this is one of the technique. The advantage of this technique is that it can be used for non-planar circuits also. Okay, this is one advantage. I can use node voltage analysis for non-planar circuits also. One more advantage here is if the number of meshes in the circuit are n number, then we have to write n number of equations and solve n number of simultaneous equations. Okay, but if the number of meshes are n number in any circuit, and if I want to analyze that circuit using node voltage method, then number of equations we have to solve are n minus 1. When we take example, you will get to know that. For the same circuit, if I have to take mesh current analysis, if there are n number of equations to be solved, then if I go for node voltage analysis for the same circuit, then I will be getting n minus 1 number of equations. So number of equations will reduce in node voltage analysis when compared to mesh current analysis. This is another advantage. Okay, and number of equations to be solved is equals to n minus 1. Okay, where n is number of nodes in the circuit. Okay, if there are 10 nodes in the circuit, one node I will be taking as a reference node, and I am not applying Kirchhoff's current law to that reference node. Therefore, I will be applying to 9 number of nodes the Kirchhoff's current law. Then I get 9 equations. Then I have to solve 9 equations. Okay, so if number of nodes are n in any network, the number of equations what I get is n minus 1, because one node is taken as reference node. Okay, and we don't apply KCL to the reference node. Okay, but we can add assign other nodes the voltage V1, V2, V3. Okay, with potential of a reference node zero volts. Okay, or ground potential. Okay, so what is the first step? I will repeat this procedure, then we'll move to a general circuit, then we'll move to a particular example. Procedure: passive elements in series with the ideal current source and in parallel with the ideal voltage source should be neglected. This is first step, if there are any, after observing the circuit. Then all nodes are identified and one node is taken as reference node, and this reference node should be the one with maximum number of branches connected. This already we have seen in this point. Okay, third, assign other nodes the voltages V1, V2, V3, so on, with the potential of reference node equal to 0. Okay, apply KCL at each node by assuming or assigning arbitrary branch currents, and write branch current in terms of node voltage and impedances using Ohm's law, and solve for node voltages using Cramer's rule. This is the procedure. Okay, so if there is any possibility of converting voltage sources into current source, we can do that, and all the branch currents entering the node are positive, leaving the node are taken to be negative. Okay, this thing what we have seen. Now let me consider a simple general circuit. R1, R2, R3. Let this be R4 and R5. Okay. Now, when I observe this circuit, there is possibility of converting this V1 R1 into a current source, V2 R3 into a current source. We can do that. Okay. Let us not go into that extent right now. First, we will look into the process of solution. Now, how many nodes are there? 1, 2, and if you see the bottom line, this is all a single point, because there is no, if you take this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. See, this E, F, G, H is a single point. Though it appears to be 4-point connection, it is a single point. Okay. B is a node, C is a node, F is node, and G is node. F and G are the same nodes. Now, if you observe node B, R1 is connected, R4 is connected, R2 is connected. It means 3 branches are connected to node B. If you observe node C, there are 3 branches, R2, R3, and R5. But if you observe node E, F, G, H, this is all single node only. V2, R5, R4, V1, 4 branches are connected. Okay. And also to this node, if there is a common negative connection of the battery terminal, we can use that. Okay. So by observation itself, we will get to know that if I choose this as common node or a reference node of 0 volts, it will be advantageous. Okay. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please don't think that E, F, G, H are different connections, because these are all connected with the same wire without any element in between from H to E. This forms a single point of contact. Okay, this is all at if I take F as 0 volt or reference node, G, H, E automatically will be connected to a reference node. Okay, so this is one case. Now, if you want to reorient the circuit, yeah, I will show you how it is connected to a common point. Okay, so this is R2, this is R4, this is R5, R1, R3, V1, V2. This is ground. So now it is very much evident that all the branches are connected to the same point of ground potential. Okay. Now next point part. Now this is okay, B, and this is point C. A, D, E, F, G, H, they are all combined. Okay. R1 and V1 are in series, R3 and V2 are in series. Okay. And now I should assign the branch currents. Branch currents can be assigned arbitrarily. Don't worry. Okay, whether which direction to be considered. Whatever may be the direction you consider, you want to consider, you consider it. Ultimately, either I will get plus value or minus value of the current. Depending upon plus or minus value, the direction we have to reconsider it. That's it. Okay. So next point is to consider the or assign the branch currents. Now what I will do, I will assign the branch current here. Let this be I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. Okay, so this is a reference node of 0 volts. I will take this as node 1 and this as node 2. Let me take the voltage at node 1 to be V1 here and voltage at node 2 to be V2. Okay. Now I should apply KVL to node 1 and node 2. Okay, sorry, KCL to node 1 and node 2. How many nodes I get? I have 3 nodes. One node I have referred as a reference node. Now I have node 1 and node 2. This is node 3. You can take node 3 reference node. Okay. Node 3. Reference node. Now how many nodes are left? Node 1 and node 2. KCL for node 1, KCL for node 2. I get 2 equations. So there is a 3 mesh circuit. If I use mesh current analysis, I have to use mesh 1, mesh 2, mesh 3. But if I use node voltage analysis, I can have only 2 equations. So the complexity reduces. Number of equations are less. Okay, that is one observation. Okay, now apply KCL to node 1. Apply KCL to node 1. Now, what is the potential at node 1 is V1, which is unknown. Potential at node 2 is V2. Okay. Potential at ground is 0. Now, when I write KCL to node 1, I1 is entering, I2 is leaving, I3 is leaving. So, I can write current entering the node is positive, I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equals to 0. Now, if I write only this, I cannot solve because these currents are not in terms of V1, V2, V3 or node voltages. Now, I should write these currents in terms of node voltages. Okay. Now, what is current I1? What is current I1? Let this take it as Vx. Let me take this as V1 because V1 and V2 we have other node voltages also. Yeah. Now what is current I1? Current is I1. Current I1 is flowing from Vx to V1. So the potential difference between R1 is Vx and V1. One end of R1 is connected to Vx, another end of R1 is connected to V1. So the current in R1 is due to the potential difference between Vx and V1. Okay. Now, one thing we should observe. What is current?
Yeah.
Current flows from higher to lower potential point. This you should be remembering. Current flows from higher to lower potential point. Okay. Now with this convention, If the current is flowing from Vx to V1, which is at higher potential point? Now, if I take a branch through this R, I have I have VA and VB. Now, if current is from A to B, whether VA is a higher potential point or VB is at higher potential point?
VA, sir.
VA is at higher potential point. Now, if I want to write I, how we will write?
VA minus VB divided by R.
VA minus VB divided by R. Because direction of current I know, this arbitrarily I have assumed. Now suppose if VA is greater than VB, direction of current is same. If VB comes out to be greater than VA, direction of current is opposite. Magnitude will remain same, it won't change. If suppose VA is 2 volts, VB is 5 volts, R is 1 ohms. What is current I? With this direction of current or IAB, let me take IAB is VA minus VB divided by R, which is equals to 2 minus 5 divided by 1, that is minus 3 amperes. Now if I take IBA, if I take IBA, it is VB minus VA divided by R, that is 5 minus 2 divided by 1, that is 3 amps. See, in both the cases you observe, is the magnitude changing? Magnitude is remaining the same. But how I assume the current in a branch depends, depending upon this, I have to write this equation. Okay. Now here I assumed in this branch, in the circuit shown, the current to be flowing from Vx to V1. Therefore, I1 is what? Vx minus V1 divided by R1. Is it?
Yes, sir.
If still has to be simplified, you take this circuit. This is V, this is R, this is I. Now what is I equals to in this circuit?
V by R.
Simple, V by R. Okay. Why V by R? What does this V mean? V is the EMF of this battery, or we call voltage of this battery. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Now what voltage is? A potential difference. Now what potential difference is? Potential difference between the positive terminal and negative terminal of the battery. Why it is V? Why it is not V minus something? Because in the battery, negative terminal is always considered to be at ground. Therefore, I never write V minus 0 by R. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
V is the potential of positive terminal of the battery, whereas potential of negative terminal of the battery is 0. So if I take potential difference of the battery, it is V minus 0. Okay, it is V minus 0 always. Now you write diode equation in what you can say in AEC or in electronics. How you write current through diode? Is it? Yes or no? Generally,
Yes, sir.
if you take the piecewise linear model, then VA minus VK, anode voltage minus cathode voltage divided by resistance of the diode. Okay, And now if I take a diode, it may take additional moments, but it will be firmly fit into your mind what is the concept of potential difference between the elements. Okay, now what I will do, I will take a diode here, and I will apply 1 volts. Now whether diode is forward biased or reverse biased?
Forward bias.
Yes, silicon diode it is. Is it forward biased or reverse biased?
Forward bias.
Forward biased. Now whether diode is forward biased or reverse biased? In this circuit, tell me whether diode is forward biased or reverse biased.
If VA is greater than VK, it is forward bias.
Yes, VA is greater than VK, then it is forward biased.
bias.
Okay, now what I will do to this diode, okay, I will take VA, VK, then you tell status. VA 1 volts, VK 0.5 volts.
Forward bias.
Think once again. It is a silicon diode which needs 0.7 volts.
0.7. Yes, sir.
This is
So
where you people go wrong.
we should take external voltage.
Yeah, you thought only of mathematics here, but the physics you forgot. The potential difference between diode should be compulsorily 0.7 volts if it is silicon. So only I mentioned SI. So it is reverse biased. Now it is VA is 2 volts and VK is 0.5 volts. It is forward biased because the difference is 1.5 volts. Now VA is minus 2 volts, VK is 0.5 volts. What is the status of the diode? Yes, anybody?
Forward bias only, sir.
Forward bias. Huh?
Yes, sir.
How come, man? Anode is at negative voltage, cathode is positive.
Yes, sir.
You are seeing only the magnitude. Huh? Why I am taking this example is this is the best example, diode example is the best example to understand the potential difference between and the higher potential point and lower potential point understanding. Okay, one more status I will give you. Now, VA is minus 2, VK is minus 0.5. Now,
Reverse bias only.
reverse biased. VA is minus 0.5, VK is minus 2. Or
Forward
VA
bias.
is minus 1, VK is minus 2.
Forward bias.
Why? Both are negative. For
Minus
forward
1, minus
biasing
of
of the diode, anode should be positive, cathode should be negative. Here both are negative.
so minus 1 minus of minus 2.
Ah.
It becomes 1.
See, again, you people are running behind the mathematics. You understand physics. Which is higher potential point when it is -1 volts and -2 volts?
-1 is at
See,
all.
the condition for diode operation is anode should be at higher potential, cathode should be at lower potential. That is the condition. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Anode should be at higher potential point, cathode should be at lower potential point. Then only diode will operate. Then higher potential point and lower potential point can be with any values, is it? Higher potential point, if it is -100 volts, okay, one anode is at -100 volts and cathode is at -102 volts. So -100 is more positive than -102. Therefore, diode is in forward bias condition. This is the concept of voltage potential difference. Now coming back to this point, this is extremely important in clippers and clampers. I think that you have done already in the class. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here I1 is Vx minus V1 because see the direction of current I1. It is flowing from Vx to V1. I don't know whether it is from Vx to V1. If this value comes out to be positive, then it is flowing from Vx to V1. If this value comes out to be negative, then it is flowing from V1 to Vx. That is the only thing possible. Current can flow from A to B or B to A. It cannot jump from C to D somewhere. Is it? No. Similarly, I2 is equals to. Now, I2 is the current from V1 to ground. Now, tell me the equation.
V1 by R4.
V1 minus 0 by R4. Let us write in detail for the first thing. Then I3 is equals to. It is flowing from V1 to V2. Now, with respect to I3, see, for I1, V1 is at lower potential point when compared to Vx. For I3, V1 is at higher potential point when compared to V2. This is still arbitrarily assigned values. Okay, with this, we have to continue the analysis. Now, I3 is
V1
flowing
minus
from V1
V2
to V2. So, it is
V1 minus V2 by R2.
V1 minus V2 divided by R2. Okay. Now, by substituting these three here, I will not simplify this. Okay. We don't need to simplify this. We are simply observing the method. Now, if you substitute this, what I get is Vx minus V1 by R1 minus V1 by R4 minus V1 minus V2 by R2 is equals to 0. So I1, R1 I know, R4 I know, R2 I know, Vx I know because it is a source. Then I will get one equation in terms of V1 and V2. Now similarly apply KCL to node 2. Apply KCL to node 2 here. So what I get? Sorry.
I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0.
I will just copy the same circuit down there for our easiness. Yeah. I hope this all doesn't annoy you people. Yes?
Yes, sir.
This dragging, dropping and all, will it annoy you or is okay?
It's okay, sir.
Yeah. So now apply KCL to node 2. What we can write here is current I3 is entering, I4 is leaving, I5 is leaving. So I can write I3 KCL to I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equals to 0. Now what is I3?
V1 minus V2 by R2.
I3 is the current flowing from V1 to V2. Okay. So the direction of I3 is same whether I consider it at node 1 or node 2. So it won't change. So it is V1 minus V2 by R3. Sorry, R2. Then what is I4? Is the
V2 by
current in
R5.
R5? It is between V2 and reference. So therefore it is V2 minus 0 by R5. Okay. Then what is I5?
V2 minus
Now
Vy
it
by
is flowing
R3.
from V2 to Vy. So what assumption made here is V2 is at higher potential point with respect to Vy. So I can write V2 minus Vy divided by R3. Now substitute all these three currents in the equation. You will get one more equation in terms of V1 and V2. Because I know Vy, I know R3, R4, and R5 and R2. Therefore, I get two simultaneous equations, system of linear equations in V1 and V2. Solve for V1 and V2. Once I get V1 and V2, substitute the values of V1 and V2 in all these respective branch current values, equations, you will get branch currents. This is how I have to take forward the node voltage analysis. So we will look into one simple example. Same orientation example I will consider. Then we'll see other further examples. Okay. No. Example. We will take example. I will take three loop circuit only, three mesh circuit only. Okay. So let this be 15 volts, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 5 ohm, 6 ohm, 7 ohm, and 20 volts. Okay. So find the branch currents. Okay. Find the branch currents. Using node voltage analysis. Using node voltage analysis. Now, momentarily I will copy the circuit as it is. And paste it here. Okay. So I have three nodes and this. Okay. These all are the same nodes. Let this be. I need not to again now name the corners. That is not necessary. Okay. Node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay. Since node 3 is connected with the more number of branches, I will declare node 3 as reference node. Okay. This is solution. let us take node 3 as reference node. Okay. Now at node 1, let the voltage be V1. At node 2, let the voltage be V2. So this we have done now. Now I should be assigning the branch currents. Okay. Let this be I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. Arbitrarily, there is no guarantee, the compulsion that I3 should be leaving the node. I3 can enter, I2 can also enter. You need not to worry. Even if you take all the currents entering the node, it's fine. Even if you take all the currents leaving the node, it's fine. Okay, there is no compulsion that a KCL has to be satisfied at each node. Okay, if you take the currents such that if the KCL is satisfied at each node, then more number of currents will be assigned almost with their actual directions. It will get assigned. That is the assumption. Okay, so there is no compulsion that the currents one has to enter, two has to leave, nothing as such. All the currents can enter the node. There is no harm. Accordingly, we will get the values, if positive or negative. Okay. Now, apply KCL to node 1. Apply KCL to node 1. Current I1 is entering, should be positive. I2 is leaving, should be taken positive. I3 is leaving, should be taken positive. Sorry, negative. I2 negative and I3 negative. So I will write it as I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equals to 0. Okay. I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equals to 0. Okay. Now I will for first one or two examples I will write separately what is I1, I2 and I3. Later we can write them in the same equation only. Okay. What is I1? I1 is flowing from 15 volt source towards V1. So it is assumed in branch 1 that 15 volt is higher potential is higher potential point when compared to V1. This is indicating. Now if I take I1 from V1 to 15 volts, then V1 is at higher potential point with respect to 15 volts. Now as per the direction of current what I have assumed, it appears 15 volt is higher potential point, V1 is at lower potential point. Okay. So I will be writing it as 15 minus V1 divided by what is the branch impedance between 15 volt and V1? It is 3 ohms. I will not write ohms, 15 by 3. Okay. That itself is the point. Assign the branch currents in each branch, then write the KCL, apply Kirchhoff's law at each node, then write the branch currents in terms of node voltages and impedance. I have written this branch currents in terms of node voltages and impedance. Okay. Then I2, what is I2? I2 is the current in 4 ohm and this 4 ohm is between V1 and ground. So I will write this as V1 minus 0 divided by 4, or I will write this as V1 by 4. What is I3? Is the current between V1 and V2 in 5 ohms. So as per the direction of I3 in 5 ohm, it is assumed V1 is at higher potential point, V2 is at lower potential point as per the direction of I3. Okay. Now I should write this as V1 minus V2 divided by 5. Did everybody get this? How we wrote these Ohm's law equations?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far? Because this is very much important in a node voltage analysis. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Any clarifications you need? Yeah. Okay. Now put the values of I1, I2, I3 expressions in this equation. So what I get is 15 minus V1 by 3 minus I2 minus V1 by 4 minus I3, that is V1 minus V2 by 5 is equals to 0. Okay. Now I will write this as 15 by 3 minus V1 by 3 minus V1 by 4 minus V1 by 4, sorry, 5 plus V2 by 5 is equals to 0. Okay. Now what is 15 by 3? It is 5. This implies, okay, 5 minus V1 by 3 0.33 V1 minus V1 by 4 0.25 V1 minus V1 by 5 minus 0.2 V1 minus plus V2 by 5 plus 0.2 V2 is equals to 0. Or what I can write, if I take all these things on the other side, 0.33 V1 plus 0.25 plus 0.21, 0.45, 0.78, okay, 0.78 V1 minus 0.2 V2 is equals to 5. This is equation 1. Okay. Any doubts? Simplification is right. 0.33 plus 0.25, that is 0.58 plus 0.2, 0.78, yeah. 0.78 V1 minus 0.2 V2 plus 5. Okay. Next, apply KCL to node 2. Apply KCL at node 2. Okay. Yeah. I3 is entering node 2, I4 is leaving, I5 is leaving. So I3 is positive, I4 is negative, I5 is negative. So it will be plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equals to 0. Now write the values for I3, I4 and I5. I3 we know. I3 is equals to, current is from V1 to V2. That is V1 minus V2 divided by 5. Then I4. I4 is in 6 ohm between V2 and ground. It is V2 minus 0 by 6. That is V2 by 6. Then I5. I5 is between V2 and 20 volts. The direction is from V2 to 20 volts. So therefore, it is V2 minus 20 divided by 7. Substitute all these values in this equation. So V1 minus V2 divided by 5 minus V2 by 6 minus V2 minus 20 divided by 7 is equals to 0. This implies V1 by 5 minus V2 by 5 minus V2 by 6 minus V2 by 7 plus 20 by 7 is equals to 0. Okay. So what is the value? V1 by 5 is 0.2 V1 minus 0.2 V2 minus 0.167 V2. 1 by 6 is 0.1666, is it? Yeah, 0.1666. It is on 1.7 I will take. Okay. Minus V2 by 7 is minus 0.142 V2 plus 20 by 7. It is 2 point, how much it is? 14, 6. 2.5 something we'll get. So 2.85, not 2.5. Is equals to 0. By rearranging the terms, what I get? Minus 0.2 V1 plus all these minus V2 coefficients will become plus. Minus 0.2 plus minus 0.267 plus 0.509 V2
Yes, sir.
is equals to 2.85. This is equation 2. Now, by solving equation 1 and 2, we'll get V1 and V2. On solving equation 1 and 2, tell me what is V1, what is V2.
V1 is equal to 8.68 volt.
8.68 volts.
V2 is equal to 9.01 volt.
Volts. Okay. Now find all the currents I1, I2, I3, I4, because I have expressions. No harm. Okay. Very easily I can get. Now what is I1?
15 minus V1 by 3.
Okay. I1. Now we have already assigned the directions of I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. You use the same direction and find out. Use the same expression. 15 minus V1 by I3. Okay. 15 minus V1 by 3. Sorry, not I3. 3. It is 15 minus 8.68 divided by 3. I2 is V1 by 4. Is equals to 8.68 by 4. I3 is V1 minus V2 by 5. That is 8.68 minus 9.01 by 5. I4, it is V2 by 6. Yes. I4 is V2 by 6. 9.01 by 6. I5, it is V2 minus 20 divided by 7 is 9.01 minus 20 divided by 7. Yeah, value of I1
2.10
amps. Yeah,
2.17 amps.
I3
Minus 0.06 amp.
I4
1.5 amps.
I5
Minus
minus,
1.57 amp.
all are getting same. Yeah, by observing the value of V1 and V2, we can guess the direction of current here. V1 is lesser than 15 volts. Okay, so it is 15 minus V1. It is positive. Direction of I1 is same as that of actual current. Direction of I2 is same as that of actual current. Direction of I3 is reversed because V2 is greater than V1. That is an understanding. You need not to mention exclusively and write a comment. It is just an understanding. Okay. Did everybody get the same answer? All are getting the same answers?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Any clarifications? Yes. If no, then we'll stop for the day.